we're recording now, so we were just... Okay, so...
Slicer, repeat what you just said.
No, Ken said that he was born ready. No, Zero said he was born ready, and no, he's not. And Slicer...
I responded with, I was literally born ready because I came out in Superman pose.
To which I responded, you realize that pretty much means that you punched your mum in the vagina when you came out, right?
It's so funny.
These are the conversations we have when we're not on air. So, welcome to the Fandom Flux podcast, episode 71.
Hi.
I'm your host.
We're off to an interesting start.
And with me we have the mum puncher, Slicer.
Hello.
The consistently not ready Zero.
Hi guys, how you doing? And stop giving me titles.
And the man who does his own introductions, Kenshi618.
Hi, I'm Tenchi618, and I like my meat so rare, I only eat unicorns.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Wow.
Oh, we're in a good mood today. Good mood today. All right. So, first topic, as always, is what we're doing. So, what are we doing? Ken.
All right, so, first of all, let me just describe something about myself. I think there's a little bit of a contrarian in me. If you tell me to do something and I don't have to do it, I am going to go out of my way to avoid doing this certain thing because I don't like being told what to do.
I'm kind of similar.
Fair enough, yeah.
And this comes into play today because probably by the end of today, which is Tuesday the 27th, I'm probably going to have updated Shinobi of the High Seas after not doing it in forever.
Yeah.
Now, part of that's twofold. One, I really didn't care. Like I said, if there are more interesting things around, I'm going to do the more interesting things. And there were more interesting things to me to do than to update that story. Second thing is, I will eventually feel obligated to do it after a certain length of time. I would have, but I keep being told to do it. That I have to do it. I don't have to do anything.
Readers, yeah.
I don't have to do anything.
So basically, if you tell somebody to update, specifically Kenshi, he will not update.
That's not true. If I want to update something, or let me put it this way. If I'm doing something that I have more interest in, and you tell me to do something that I'm not currently focusing on, it's really not going to make me want to do that one thing better, or even sooner.
Yeah, I think the example you gave was, like, playing Street Fighter and having somebody in the back of your head yelling, play Dark Souls.
Yeah. I'll get to Dark Souls when I'm good and fucking ready. Alright? Kenshi don't do what other people say. Kenshi does what Kenshi does. Kenshi618 doesn't do what Kenshi618 does.
He's lost track of what he's saying now, hasn't he?
Pretty
Hold
much.
on, I can remember this. Kenshi618 doesn't do what Kenshi618 does for Kenshi618. Kenshi618 does what Kenshi618 does because he is Kenshi618.
Kenshi618 literally nothing.
Kenshi618 is the hero that we don't deserve or need, but he's the hero that we got and we deserve and need.
Please, Zero. Okay, intervention time. Zero, please. For the love of God, stop quoting that fucking line.
You don't need, deserve, or want me, but I'm what you got.
I am not joking. Zero, at some point, like every week, for the past 8 weeks, you have quoted that fucking line.
8 weeks?
Please, stop it.
8 weeks? I'm pretty sure you can find it in 3/4 of the episodes.
I feel like I've been quoting that ever since I joined this podcast.
And if it's not quoted in this, and if it's not quoted in the actual Fandom Flux podcast, I'm pretty sure it's quoted in the Reflux.
And if it's not quoted in any of those, I probably said it off air.
Yeah.
I would like someone. Here's a project for someone. I would give you $5 if you go through every episode we've ever done and count the number of times that this has been said.
Well,
$5? That's
highlight reel.
not
Get into
enough
it?
considering we have hours worth of content. Or
Yeah,
days,
well,
actually.
Yeah, well, I'm cheap.
Assuming 2 hours for every episode, that's 35.
Plus the reflexes.
140 episodes, no, 140 hours of content just for this podcast,
You know what?
give or take.
You know what? Screw you guys. I'll just start quoting Power Thirst and whatnot. There we go.
What, are you going to just yell random things at me?
Gratuitous amounts of energy.
Okay. It's better than the fucking
Say it one more time.
Batman. The Dark Knight came out like 7 years ago,
And it's
dude.
still good.
It's still good, but the references are so tired because everyone makes them.
You know, some people just want to see the world burn.
Fucking Zero, seriously. Oh my god.
What, do you expect everyone to be cutting edge all the time?
At least change it up a little bit, man. Oh.
It's not asking much, really.
Sing the Doom song sometimes, or, I don't know, over 9,000. Who gives a shit? Something different.
It's a thing now.
Okay. Ken,
Yeah?
you were saying...
Yeah, other than that, let's see, what else have I done? I don't even remember what I did this week. Oh yeah, my 1-year anniversary for working at my job came up.
Cool.
Yeah, so they fed me pizza,
Cool.
Awesome.
which is nice. People enjoy having Kenshi around,
Yeah, they do.
because Kenshi works hard.
Yeah,
Kenshi's the best damn assistant producer ever, apparently. I don't believe that at all, but it's what I'm told by multiple people.
Cool. That means they're not going to fire you. That's pretty
Well,
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Good
have
job,
to
Spirit,
say,
there.
you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Okay. Episode title already. Fandom Flux wants to strangle Zero.
I don't want to Strangle Zero. This is hilarious.
I do.
I just looked up a page of Dark Knight quotes. It's
You know,
gonna be a
Casey.
fun episode.
You know, Casey. Why so serious? Let's put a smile on that face. I'm done. I don't have anything. You know what, Zero? I think I'll help you with that for the rest of the episode.
Well, you know what they say, the night is darkest just before the dawn. I promise you, the dawn is coming.
Google
All right.
finished my statement for me. I didn't even have to put in the whole thing.
Alright, moving on. I'm done. No more quotes from Dark Knight. I promise.
Good.
With my fingers crossed. What? No, nothing.
Ken?
Ken.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
I zoned out there for a
I had
second.
next to nothing this week.
Okay. Okay. I get the impression that if I was not like 1,000 miles away from him, I would have just started punching Zero in the face over and over again in that little moment of not being entirely coherent or conscious. So, Slicer, you go next.
Sure, why not? Alright, I probably mentioned it a few times, but I got Kingdom Hearts 2.5 a bit ago, and I was playing it. And I'm done with it now, but ironically enough, my pride as a gamer demanded that I play the game on hard mode, which is called Pride Mode in Kingdom Hearts. And hands down, the funnest part of playing any Kingdom Hearts game is saving as much as you can for later, and facing the hard bosses once, just to see how hard they kick your ass. And then you retreat, or load your game, or whatever you needed to do. Then you go level up to 99, and then come back strutting into the arena going, "What's up now, bitches?" And then just destroying them. And unfortunately, because my choice in Pride mode, I could not do that. The bosses were too hard, and I still beat them, but it wasn't the curb stomp fight I wanted. Yeah.
It was a curb stomp fight you needed.
It wasn't the curb stomp fight you deserved, though.
Well, I beat everything else, so I think I deserved it.
I have like over £1,000 in my bank account right now. I am sorely tempted to just spend as much of it as I can on a plane ticket to California, just so I can find Zero and punch him in the face. I won't be able to afford airfare to get back. I'll just be living as a hobo in California. But it'd be worth it to punch Zero in the face right now, okay?
Maybe not.
Zero.
Maybe not, because
Stop.
Maybe not, because Zero knows martial arts, and he's a.
I have a black belt, so.
See, he doesn't know who you are, and I mean, it's not hard to get a disguise that could fool him long enough that you can just sneak up on him, tap his shoulder, and then just sucker punch him right in the face.
Are you gonna get a mustache?
Yeah, the goggles they have in Persona. The swirly eyes and the mustache and the nose would be great. But, yeah, next, I bit my cheek early this week, and I bit it hard, so I've been tasting raw meat all week. Yeah.
Are you delicious?
No.
Slow roasted over a fire.
Yeah, that has not been pleasant at all, but thankfully it's starting to close up, so, yeah. I don't heal very quick, unfortunately. Binding of Isaac, I've continued playing it. I'm playing it right now, actually. It's paused, granted, but, you know. I hit a wall, and then I just kept trying, and unlock stuff eventually just by doing random things. So if you're stuck in that game, just keep playing it. You'll unlock stuff eventually. Next, bad news, unfortunately. I tried Dragon Age. I played it once. I had no luck with a character that I just liked in combat. I tried a sword and shield, dual wielding. Dual wielding was retarded because you can use a dagger in your offhand only. Stupid.
Which Dragon Age?
The first one, Dragon Age Origins.
Yeah.
You can't use two swords if you get the perk for it.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what I did.
know.
You can get a perk to use two swords, like, not too far in the game either.
Good, I might try that one again. Because that's the character I got the farthest with.
I think it's the dual wield master.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
But that's basically what I did to get through that game.
Yeah, I haven't really liked the combat. I like the lore and the story, and even the characters are pretty great, but
Dragon Age Origins was more strategic with the auto attacks and everything. Dragon Age 2 was more, you pushed a button to combat. It was kind of more focused around the combat being a little bit more action game-ish.
Yeah, more, fun.
Yeah.
And
then Dragon Age Inquisition had a balance between the two of them.
Alright, that's good to know. I might just muscle through it then at some point. Maybe try an archer. I don't know. That's like the one character class I didn't try.
And you are an archer, as we have seen in Castle Crashers and everything.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing about Dragon Age. You don't have to play as yourself. You can just switch to a different character if you prefer their playstyle, and it'll just auto-play your own character for you.
Oh. Yeah, that's interesting. I had not considered doing that.
There are absolutely moments where it's better to just switch to the mage and focus on making sure they heal people when you need them to heal people. So.
Oh, yeah, all right. Yeah, aside from that, I played it once for I was 14 hours straight, and beyond that, I haven't really been tempted to go back and play it. But yeah, after this talk, I might have to do that at some point because that's interesting ideas to just deal with it. And lastly, I've been just kind of bulk reading, or what is it, binge reading, or listening to rather, Internet Box, and I had to stop because I wanted to kill Mike. Yeah, that's his name. Yeah. Andrew's an idiot, but at least he's a likable idiot, but Mike is just, I don't like him at all. and it's becoming a bit much, and I don't want him to ruin Internet Box as a whole. So I've limited myself to like 1 episode a day, as opposed to like 12.
That's probably good. You get sick of anything if you're listening to it 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
You know, so...
I mean, I play games while I listen to podcasts and stuff, so it's not solely doing that, but that's what I'm focused on. So, yeah. Same general problem. But that's my week.
Okay. My week. I finally have a flat.
Yeah.
Oh, the one they showed you was good?
Yeah, I am holding the keys right now. Yay.
Jingly keys,
Awesome.
jingle.
Yay.
See, you have a flat. You don't need to come over here and be homeless and punch me in the face. Or try to, at the very least.
No, I still need that deep down inside. I need that so bad, but you know, I can maintain. Yeah. So, the first thing you do when you get a flat is you make sure you have the utilities in order, so you don't have like the previous tenant's debts on your account, because that would be bad.
That would really be bad, yeah.
Yeah. So they told me when I was signing the papers and stuff, like, hey, you can change your utility provider at any time. You can just ring it up or do it through this website, and it'll let you change it. And I was like, okay, first I need to ring up the current providers and make sure I don't have any debts from them. So I ring up, and I swear to God, conversations with utility providers are specifically designed to be so boring that you just say yes to anything they say.
I can believe that, yeah.
I had completely zoned out by the time they were actually talking to me about what they provide and what the prices are, because it's just numbers. They just give you number after number after number, and none of them make any sense. Like kilojoules of energy and gas is like 27 pence. It's a basic flat charge, and then every 600 kilojoules of energy. And I was lost. I don't even know what a kilojoule is. I don't even know if that's the right term that they use, because yeah. So that was not God, that was a pain in the ass. But yeah. So I have a flat. I need to decorate it. So that's gonna be fun.
Quick, everybody send him fans. All over the place.
Why?
The future base of the Fandom Flux. Yeah.
Right. I get the
Well,
joke.
you just gave me
gave
me an idea for a backdrop if I ever do any like actual video stuff.
Fans everywhere.
An actual fan, or do you mean like just a sheet? Or
Just fans.
yeah.
Just like shelf behind me, and it's just got 2 fans on it, pointing at me, like converging.
Fair enough.
That'd be okay.
Might get the impression
it's
it's just a really hot day, but I mean, sure, why not?
Yeah. Well, it'd be fans, and they're in flux because they're flowing into each other. No,
Stick
that's
with
stupid.
just fans.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to be decorating that this weekend, and that's going to be fun. Painting.
Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah. I need to figure out carpeting.
I don't mind
This is
painting.
the
I'm
boring
just
part of
really
getting a
bad
new
at it.
place.
Who needs carpets?
I do, because the floors are concrete, and that shit's going to be cold.
That does sound pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah. What else did I... Oh, yeah, I got sick of Skyrim again.
It happens.
So, I have a bone to pick with spoiler warning, and more specifically with Seamus Young. Their commentary on games are too accurate. I tried playing through the Thieves Guild questline in Skyrim, and I was so floored by how stupid it is that I just... I didn't want to play it anymore. It was bad. So bad. So, I had this bright idea. Skyrim has a lot of really stupid plots.
Yeah, it does.
They're all pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean, pick out a good one, please.
I don't know.
You don't play
the
it,
DLC.
Which one?
I don't know, I like the Dawnbringer one. The
That
Dawn Guard.
was also pretty dumb.
I like the one with the other Dragonborn dude, where you got to go and that's pretty dumb.
I didn't play that one, so I honestly can't comment, and they haven't either, so I have no idea whether that one's any good or not. So you might be right, in fairness.
That one had the other Dragonborn, and you had to fight him, and he was using like dragon shouts at you, and you used dragon shout against him. It was really cool.
Did he actually use other dragon shouts than Unrelenting Force?
Yeah, he had his own special ones.
Oh, good.
And he also had the one for dashing and everything else.
That's actually kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Like he had,
all of the other ones just used Fusroda.
Because he had one shout which covered him in like this super like awesome dragon armor type thing, magical dragon armor type thing, which boosted his stats, and he also had the shout to ride dragons and whatnot. It's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I got so sick of Skyrim, I decided, no, people shit on Oblivion a lot. It had some pretty good plots.
It did.
Do they?
I mean, everyone loved the Dark Brotherhood in Oblivion.
Yeah, it was great.
Because it had so many interesting things in it. The overarching plot was great with the betrayal and the Inner Circle and stuff. And you end up killing most of the members of the Dark Brotherhood by accident. Or by treason, rather. And all of the actual assassination missions were cool. There was the dinner party one, and the one where you can try to assassinate the guy who's sitting in a chair underneath taxidermy thing, one of the head things.
It's a mounted head, yeah.
Yeah, a mounted head. And
like the
you
Dark,
can drop it on him.
Yeah, the Dark Brotherhood in Skyrim, by comparison, it had some good missions, but the way it ended was kind of wonky.
But the thing is, everyone praises the Dark Brotherhood. The other ones weren't so bad either.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest, I can't remember the Fighters Guild at all.
Nobody can.
But, it wasn't offensively bad. It wasn't so bad that I remember how terrible it was.
It was just kind of boring. It wasn't really bad.
It was just there.
Yeah. And the Mages Guild was okay. I remember it. You're fighting against corruption and necromancy and stuff. And the Archmage sacrifices himself so you can go kill Manamako, the King of Worms. That was okay. Nothing groundbreaking, but it was okay. And the Thieves Guild in Oblivion, that was some straight-up biblical shit. With, not biblical, but mythical shit. Because, the Grey Fox who gets cursed by one of the Daedric Lords, so no one remembers who he is unless he's wearing the mask that notes him as the Grey Fox. And then he rages against the heavens, basically, by getting the Elder Scrolls and changing his own fate. That was some epic level shit.
It was pretty cool.
I mean, no one talks about that, though. Jesus.
Yeah. I think everybody likes to crap on Oblivion because of the graphics.
But that's the thing. They weren't that bad. They were pretty colorful.
They weren't that for the time. They weren't that bad.
I mean, the character models were pretty bad.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie about that. But everything else was pretty amazing.
I keep remembering there are no hot people in Oblivion.
Pretty much.
There are plenty of hot old ladies. You just don't look at their faces.
Yeah. They all had jowls for some reason. I don't know why. Like fucking pit bulls. It was kind of gross. Yeah, so I decided, hey, I'm just gonna play Oblivion, and I'm gonna mod the shit out of it, because they've had 5 extra years to mod Oblivion, so it's gonna have some great shit.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, it does, but you can't use the Nexus mod manager, and
yeah.
A lot of mods you have to install manually by inputting files directly, and that's problematic, and it's a lot more complicated, so it's going to take me a while.
But the mod
But I'm
manager is just so convenient.
I'm sure eventually I'll be able to actually play the game. But until then, I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tabs open that is all just the Nexus with different mods. I'm trying to work out which order I need to put them all in so that I can get them all to work at the same time. And
yeah, it's not just getting the mods to work, it's the mod order.
Yeah, because you have to install some of them manually, you have to install them first, and then you can edit them with the mods that you install in the mod manager. And it's a bit of a mess. But it's going to be good when I get it done, so it's cool. I think that's pretty much it for me. So, I guess I've put it off for as long as I reasonably can, but now I get to hear Zero talk for a while. Please don't, Zero.
Okay. So it's my turn to talk about what I've been doing?
Yes.
Okay. I guess I'll do it. I won't say any Batman quotes. It's from Dark Knight at the very least. So,
Let's not have that caveat, shall we?
So...
We're okay with not using any Batman quotes.
Yeah, so, okay. This week I...
Come on, Zero. You are my number one guy. See? There's a Batman quote that is not overused.
Nice to meet you. Alright. Yeah, I'm not going to quote Arnold Schwarzenegger and his Mr. Freeze. But anyways, so this week I started up school, finally.
Yeah.
So I was going to be taking Japanese this semester. And I was really excited for that. But then I get in there and the teacher starts speaking Japanese. She's like, oh, if you're confused, you're in the wrong class, essentially. It's just like, yeah, we only do the first part in the spring. Or the first part in the fall. This is the continuation. Which is like, it didn't say that on the website when I signed up for the class. So I had to drop that class, which was unfortunate. On the other hand, it freed up my Tuesdays and Thursdays completely, because it was the only class I had on those days. And it was like 4 days a week for that. But I'm really disappointed I don't get to learn Japanese yet.
Well, I suppose you could work on Thursdays now on.
Yeah. I can, so that makes things easier for me at the very least, and for my work. But I'm going to be trying to, like, after this podcast, see if I can get another class to fill that spot, because I need to have 5 classes. Aside from that, I've been writing the new chapter for Softener and the new chapter for M1N470, and I ended up erasing most of what I was going to do for Softener, I Bleach fic, because I didn't like the direction it was going with how I was writing it. Because I introduced an OC, and from there it started to feel really not fun. And so I was like, let's just forget this OC ever happened, and let's try to stick with canon characters, see what you can do. Because, yeah.
It's good you recognized it now before it became a problem.
Yeah, like, if it's not fun, I'm not going to write it. If I'm not enjoying writing it. So, I am enjoying, however, writing my main story, because we're getting to something interesting, and this is right after all the events of the last chapter, which was a big, boss battle, and everything happened, and it's fun. I'm having fun getting back into writing after taking a bit of a break from it for holidays and everything. Also, my parents told me that for my birthday, they're going to take me down to San Francisco. So that's really cool.
Yay. There's a hill there. That's about all I know about San Francisco.
It's going to take me down to...
Oh, and a bridge. They have a bridge.
They're going to take me down to Chinatown. And they say, you can go to Chinatown, we'll buy you one thing. And the first thing that came to my mind was, I'm going to get a sword.
Of course you were.
Yeah, because that's where I got my first katana set.
In Chinatown.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So...
culturally muddled, but okay.
It is. But you know what? I am going to get some... I do think they have a weapon shop down there. In fact, I know I do, because they have a really sick, black gold sword down there that I wanted last time, but I couldn't because it was kind of ridiculously expensive, and I was a poor man.
If you're in Chinatown, at the very least, you should get a Chinese sword. What are they called? Dao, I think, is Chinese swords.
Yeah, but you see, it's a question of, do I really want one? And the answer is no.
Kingdom.
Yeah, but I'd rather get like one of the like the like, you know, the weapon that the one general used before. That I can't remember any of the names. It's been a while since I've read Kingdom.
Yeah, I just remember Wang Qi and his enormous spear.
Yes, that's what I would want. The spear.
Yeah, that was pretty badass.
Like that's what I would, if I were to get something for my love for Kingdom, then that's what I'd get. But yeah, so my birthday's in March, like it's the very beginning, so it's coming up. So, yay.
Yay. Mine comes first.
So my yay. So yeah, my computer. I don't think I mentioned this before, but my computer is broken, and because the connector for it to charge was busted. It's being sent in to be repaired right now, but it's gonna run me a pretty penny most likely because the estimate I was given was $127. It's not a very nice amount of money to just give away.
That's pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm minimum wage, so
Zero.
Yeah.
What exactly are you doing to your computers?
I think that the people that I brought it to get fixed last time didn't do a good job, so I brought it to like Best Buy this time.
Oh, okay.
So I think it was just their fault because at first they fixed it and they fixed the casing on it, and then I got it back. I'm like, it's not charging. That's the problem I came here for. And then they're like, okay, we do it for free because you have a warranty. And I feel like because of that, I pissed them off and they didn't do a good job.
Possible.
So that's what I think. Aside from that, I did make those images. I made the images for the Flux Play, for the Blaze Black. I made
plural.
Yeah, image. Yeah, I made multiple versions before I decided this is actually not official. This is a DeviantArt thing, so I had to remove that, and then I had to make an official a version with the official artwork. And putting Simone glasses on freaking a Patrat is hard. Okay, It is hard. 'Cause I had to warp it so badly out of its dimensions. Like, gosh darn it, Rekka, why do you have such a big head? I made a little Kamina furret thing in the corner for Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
Like I took the artwork for Hamilton, I made it red, and I fancied it up and I put Kamina glasses on it. It looks really nice. I also made a one for later on, which you'll see once we get there. But people are wondering why Brecco is Simone, and all I can say is just keep watching.
Yeah.
Because he earns it, in my opinion. Me and Casey both decided, yeah, he's Simone.
He sort of earned it in the one battle they did see where he survived off with 1 HP in one.
Yeah. But, he's also our first normal starter, like Hamilton was. First normal one we got.
Pretty much.
So he does have a legacy to him. Yeah. Also, I just thought of something. Ken Lau is a female. It's a female Beedrill. So I feel like that would end up being Yoko.
We actually had this discussion.
All right,
people.
you're gonna put it top on a Beedrill? Go for it.
Who should all the Gurren Lagann characters be on our Pokemon? And this was a conversation we had.
At one point we were like Feng Lang could be or not Feng Lang, but it was it was Feng Lang. Feng Lang being Yoko, and then it was Ken Lau being Kiton.
You said the horsey was going to be
or the
Yoko.
horsey being Yoko.
Who's Rocky?
I don't know. I don't know.
Huh?
All
What'd
this,
you say, Ken?
He said, "Who's
Ken.
Rossio?"
Oh. I think that would be Fanglang, to be honest.
Huh?
yeah. Well,
I can see that.
so, yeah, that was fun. I like being able to flex my Photoshop muscles when I can. And by that I mean I'm still learning a lot. I'm not the best.
Yeah.
Because it's very easy to just do stuff like that, because I just have to do effects and warp the crap out of things.
We're both learning in that sense, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm learning editing and stuff.
I did not make 50 versions of this and then send it to Casey, because I was really tempted to, because the goggles are slightly off and it bothers me.
That's fine.
But, yeah. So there's that. I had school. 2 of my classes are completely online, so that's great.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah. So saving gas, because I have to drive like 40 minutes there, 40 minutes back. It's annoying.
Yeah, I had to do that.
Yeah, and that's about it for my week. I'm just going to end it here. I mean, I can focus on talking about topics now.
Oh, and one last thing that Zero reminded me of. I cannot spend money right now. Like, at all.
Why is that?
Because I have to buy, like, an oven and a washing machine,
Oh,
a new mattress,
those are pretty important.
and, yeah, and, like, furniture and stuff. Carpets, paint.
Furniture.
Yeah. And I'm still iffy on whether I need a TV license or not. That's the thing in this. I should probably explain what that means. TV license. Basically, you spend £130 if you're going to use a TV and watch live broadcasts.
Yeah, you guys just have the thing, right? The one cable provider, or?
No, we have multiple. We have Sky, and we have Virgin. They provide slightly different channels at slightly different packages. But you cannot watch TV at all if you don't have a TV license. Because the BBC is funded by the public.
Fair enough.
It would be if they didn't, try and force their way into people's homes so that they can check whether people are watching TV.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, kind of. So, it becomes a question of whether it's worth the hassle of people constantly knocking on my door and trying to get into my flat so that they can look at my flat that has not got a TV in it, but then will try and argue the fact that I have a computer and thus have a method to watch live TV.
Wow. Yeah.
I can already see it's going to be a problem. But we'll see how much of a problem it's going to be. I honestly don't know. I have checked, and legally it's okay as long as you're not watching live TV.
So you could still watch things, just not live things.
Yeah. So I'm kind of hoping that when's the Super Bowl?
Sunday?
This Sunday.
Yeah.
Shit, really?
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
First week of February, dude. Or first day of February.
Yeah. I was hoping that it would actually happen before I had to move so I could watch it live. So that's kind of convenient. That's nice. Thank you for telling me that. Haha. Hey, Super Bowl. It's, who is it again this year?
It's Seattle Seahawks and New England Patriots.
Yeah, it's Seahawks again. Okay.
I don't give a fuck about that, because UFC comes on the night before. Nick Diaz is fighting Anderson Silva, and I'm in there.
Shit, I need to wait for the fucking Achievement Hunter thing before I can bet again. They haven't been wrong yet. I mean,
It's pretty weird.
yeah, kind of. They even got the whole thing with Peyton Manning missing so many fucking catches and shit. That throws, rather. That was weird. But yeah, that's pretty much it for everyone. So, topics. We spent like half an hour just running through TV tropes, finding a bunch of topics to add to the list because it looks a bit low.
Yeah, topic list was running low.
So, first topic that we have is one that we already had, which is betrayal fics. So, this is the sort of fic where every supporting character turns on the main character, or every character turns on a supporting character for often no adequately explained reason. They just do.
Because the author needs something to happen, usually.
Yeah, I guess. I'm not a fan of these, generally speaking.
No.
Yeah. So, okay, let's identify the problems with the betrayal fic. Because, my god, are there problems with betrayal fics. So, there needs to be reasons. That seems like the biggest, most obvious problem with betrayal fics.
Yeah.
There needs to be reasons for betrayal to happen. Otherwise...
Reasons, and more than that, a lot of motivation. Like...
That's basically the same.
Yes, I know, but motivation sounds cooler, so shut up.
Okay, I'll let you off because you didn't say any Batman quotes while you're doing the thing.
No Batman quotes yet.
Alright. Holy shit.
What?
I just we actually had an episode called Fandom Flux's Batman because Zero kept saying, "I'm Batman."
Wow.
Yeah, remember that?
That was like episode 10 or something.
I'm Batman.
That was like 5 minutes of Batman impressions.
Okay. Yeah, betrayal fix. So you can't just go out and say everyone turns on such and such a character. Because
They're jerks.
Okay.
generally speaking, these characters that are turning on this one character, they tend to be, friends.
Longtime friends, usually.
Yeah, usually. And that's why you're writing a betrayal fic, but you need to give background on why that's happening.
Like, I've seen a lot of this with Naruto. A lot. Because, oh no, if it betrays Naruto, oh no, now he's gonna be awesome and evil, and he's gonna do all of this. I remember reading one that I'm pretty sure ended up with just Guro, and I regret it, actually looking at it.
Yeah.
But people will use betrayal as a way to make their character, oh man, they're a loner, and they're so cool, and they're Sasuke.
Yeah, pretty much Sasuke, yeah.
In that case,
See,
just use Sasuke for whatever the hell your story idea is.
Because nobody likes
See,
Sasuke.
Here's the thing with Naruto, though. Someone did betray Naruto, and it was a close friend. Everyone hates that character. So, the only reason you would write a betrayal fic is because you hate the entire cast of the series.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Or,
Which raises the question, though. Why are you writing for that series, then?
honestly, like, it's more interesting if, say, for example, they use the betrayal as a way to push the character forward, but in essence, it's also a misunderstanding. So the characters the betrayers are technically sympathetic because it was an accident, and they can try to fix it, but, it will never... You can try to work it, but in the end, it's hard to make a good betrayal fic. Because you're... Essentially, a lot of the time, it's somebody putting their own emotions and feelings on a character and just setting them out and replacing people they know, maybe with people that, are characters.
Yeah. And a lot of times, it's basically turning the entire series on its head. And that is appealing to a very specific subset of fans. And I think for a lot of other fans of the series, it just turns them right off.
Yeah.
It's just not something they're interested in, because a lot of fans of the series actually like the characters and don't want everyone to hate everyone else. Because that's distinctly uncomfortable and unpleasant to read.
Yeah, if your ultimate goal is basically that, you're never going to get anywhere with that fic. If that's your goal, is you're going to make everybody hate this one character, and it's going to basically make this character, I guess, Sasuke. Yeah, if that's your goal by using it, it's typically 99% of the time not going to turn out well.
I just don't like them because it doesn't. We already mentioned it, but characters that have been friends for a long time don't generally betray each other, and it's never really handled well.
Unless it's for a very, very good reason.
It's rarely handled well.
I have an anecdote that might be evidence against that a little bit, but, you know.
All right, go for it. I'm curious what you have.
I had a friend. He was pretty much my only friend for all of the time I went through primary school and high school. Then my dad died, and I was miserable. And then this friend decided this was the ideal time to start stealing from my house.
Huh.
Several £100 worth of electronics, probably close to £1,000 of my mum's jewelry, and oddly enough, some of my stepdad's porn. But
okay,
that's kind of a side point.
May as well round out the collection, I guess, if you're going to start stealing.
So, yeah. People can turn on you and or try to screw you over for absolutely stupid reasons and at absurd times, but generally speaking it doesn't happen, and no one wants to read about it happening, really.
Not really, no.
Typically,
I mean,
people...
if you're going to make a character do basically a face heel turn, then you need to give it, like I've said already, you need to give it backstory, but more importantly, you need to make the audience aware that this is probably going to happen. Because if it doesn't come as a shock, and they were expecting it, then it will soften the blow somewhat, because that sort of thing can really turn people off really quickly.
Yeah.
I don't ever come across any betrayal fics where the actual betrayal is built up. It starts with a betrayal. Out of nowhere.
It's always in the prologue, yeah.
It would be nice if there was a betrayal fic that did that, but then did the so-and-so amount of time earlier. And we get a bit of a build-up. It happens right at the beginning, so you know exactly what the fic's about, but you find out why it was like that. And that might make it a bit more tolerable for the less ardent fans of this specific subset of fanfiction.
Yeah, like, tell them what the story's about and then give yourself a chance to explain why this is happening, if you can.
Yeah, I don't think that would work for me, because I hate that type of plot thing. It's the future happens in the first chapter, and then they pull it back in the second one. But,
well, it's not so much the future as the present. This would be, this is happening right now, and the story, the meat of the story itself is going to be what happens after that, but we're just going back a bit so we can give it a bit of context. So, is the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it's a difficult one to try and get right, mostly because so few people even attempt to do it in any way that's different from how everyone else does it.
Yeah.
So. Anything else for this topic?
I'm really trying to think of good examples of this done, and I'm not thinking of any.
Yeah, there aren't many.
Does
I suppose you...
Hold on.
Sorry?
Does the swinging pendulum count as a betrayal fic?
Which one is that one?
It's the Bleach one where at the end of the Winter War, Ichigo and all the Vizards are pretty much designated to be executed by the Central 46 because they're Vizards.
Oh, is this the one where Ichigo gets sent back in time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ish.
I mean, he's going to try and...
It is technically, because, well, they are beings that shouldn't exist by law, but...
Technically it's a betrayal fic, but it doesn't fit the mold because it doesn't focus on what happens after the betrayal. It immediately goes backwards so that it never happened.
Okay.
I suppose you could maybe count the Harry Potter fics where basically the entire Weasley clan gets bashed, as is the terminology. I suppose those technically count a little bit.
What do you mean? You'll have to give an example of
that. Harry is all friends with the Weasley clan, yay, we're all a big, happy family and stuff, and then the Weasleys all turn out to be complete monsters.
Okay.
That technically counts, and some of those stories can sometimes be good.
They can, yeah.
Well, good to a certain degree. I'm not entirely sure whether that counts, though. I don't know.
I don't know.
I think we're done with that topic. Are we done with that topic?
Sure.
Okay, so, second topic is crossing over your own stories. I have never seen this done well.
I haven't either.
Never, ever.
My only and first piece of advice is just don't do it. It's just a bad idea.
Y'all know something? Somebody once reviewed my story and was like, I would like to see a crossover with this version of the character and another story. And my immediate mental response is no.
Yeah, I've gotten that like 6 times. I've gotten that a bunch of times. No, that's not a good idea. It's awful.
Yeah.
No. Because you're crossing over fan fiction with something else, and that's not good. Because then you are first of all, you're limiting the people who could possibly read it to people who have read your story and people who know what the heck the other thing is. So it's never going to ever get big. Second of all...
Well, technically that's crossing over your story with another person's story.
Is this one specifically crossing over your story with another of your stories?
Yeah, there are people out there, off the top of my head, Rebuke X7 is one, who like to try and create their own universe, if you like, or multiverse a lot of the time, because it's crossing over different series with different series that don't exist in the same world. But they try to have characters that sort of fit the overarching plot, if you could call it a plot. And they will do the overarching stuff, and then everything else that happens in the individual series works in the individual series. And there's not that much crossover, really. Just the higher level stuff, I guess you could call it.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the best way to handle it, and just keep it as minor stuff, just as a concept that is running through all of your stories, and you can just do these little nods to different things that are happening elsewhere, but not make it a big deal.
Don't. Like, if you're crossing over, like... I don't like the idea of just crossing over fan fiction with any other sort of fan fiction, or... Because it's not right, man. It's not right.
Okay, expand, Zero. Because...
Oh, right.
I think there is potential for this, maybe. Snowball's chance in hell, but maybe that someone could actually do this well.
Well, there is a chance, but in order to do it, first of all, you have to be a competent enough writer to make characters which will still be interesting and still be able to bring things to the table through the crossover. And it's also, like, there's also the sense of, it feels like you're trying to make your own universe based off universes that are not your own, and trying to lay claim to stuff like that tends to not go well because you're not the writer for that stuff, and there's a limit to what fan fiction can do.
I mean, at that point, when you're making like 6 different worlds, you're writing 6 different stories all in this overarching crossover universe of fan fiction. I mean, What are you doing it for?
Yeah, like, make your own universe with your own original stuff at that point. You don't need to use this stuff as a base to try to, get that done.
Okay. See, here's the thing. Adaptations?
Yeah?
They are basically fanfiction. They are another writer's view of someone else's canon works. So the entire Star Wars extended universe, all of the books, all the comics, all that stuff, all of it fanfiction. And all of it crossed over with itself.
True.
Now, I'm not going to comment on the quality of the Star Wars expanded universe because I honestly don't know. I don't read it. But a lot of people seem to like it.
Yeah, but
a fair
what the main problem I have is when it's with different categories. Because that's all Star Wars crossing over with Star Wars stuff. And to be honest, a lot of those writers are very skilled and very talented at what they do, and they can work together. But you'll find that when you cross over stuff from different categories, and you keep doing that, and you keep doing that, it doesn't tend to end well. And it just, I don't know, like, if you need to keep pulling from other series and stuff like that, and you can make this whole extended universe, and a lot of it's going to be original, because that's how these things work, is when people do this. A lot of it is original. At that point, why not just start trying to pull the characters and some ideas from that in order to start making your own story?
That's a fair point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because for your
There's got to be...
because for your...
Go on, Ken.
Because for your Star Wars excuse, I mean, that adaptation got picked up because it was one universe. For a lot of times with these multiple universe fan fiction things, it's like several different series crossed over. There's no chance of that ever going legit or being anything more than what it is. So...
Mm-hmm.
I think Zero's right. I think at some point there has to be a graduation from writing fanfiction to writing your own original works. And he's also probably right in that if you are trying to build your own universe out of a bunch of other universes, that's probably that point. That is probably the point where you should just say, okay, I am trying to mesh all of these elements together, and with the rules that have been put down as canon, they're just not going to work together. So if I just push aside all of that canon stuff, I can get this to work, and I can make this something new and interesting.
Yeah, like...
So that's just the point where you should just push it all aside and just make it all your own work.
Yeah. Like, if you're mashing together all these rules, you are essentially doing what a lot of people do, where they mix a bunch of stuff from different writers and different inspirations to make their own rules and make their own universe.
Absolutely.
So
that's exactly what it is. It is putting together all the stuff from different people and doing it to create something new. That's exactly what writing an original story is.
If you can make it work, then clearly your talents are being wasted if you're not doing that.
Yeah. So, if you really want to do that, but you don't feel like you can pull it off, I don't know, just start writing something original is the best thing I can say, and you'll get better at it. But you don't need to always rely on fan fiction to fill in some of the gaps, because more often than not, when you cross over like you're going to be doing, then you're going to be creating more gaps and more problems down the line that you could just fill by saying it's your own original story, and you could come up with reasons that don't exist in canon.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
I'll be honest, I never thought the day would come when I was encouraging Rebuke X7 to write his own original works. But that's... hell. If this sort of thing is really hamstringing him that much, maybe he should just write his own original stuff and just give it a shot, and maybe he'll just put a lot more effort into it and have a lot less confusion over how all the different elements fit together. It's like,
yeah.
I don't know. And maybe I'm just talking out of my ass and he's already done this. I don't know. I haven't checked for a while. So
Who knows?
Mm.
I'm not familiar with him, so I couldn't answer that question.
He writes a lot of game fics.
Yeah.
Ah.
I think he wrote a.
Not so great
I
ones.
think he wrote a Pokemon one, and he did like a Marvel vs. Capcom one that I remember.
The Pokemon one was probably his best one. I think. Red Life is a Game, I think it was called.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So yeah, I kind of went balls to the wall on that topic. So are we good?
I think so. We got surprisingly insightful with that one. I have no links so far. I don't know whether we actually had anything link-worthy, but...
You'll find them later.
I don't think we have been, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Unless you want to, link the quote page for the Dark Knight.
Not especially. So, if you want to look something up, you got Google. You can do that, totally. Next topic. This is the first one of our new list of like a dozen topics that we pull from TV tropes. The butt monkey.
Yay!
Now, I give a little bit of backstory on this particular trope because I know the origin of it, or at least the trope namer. So there was a character in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. His name was Xander Harris. He was a normal dude in a world of supernatural bullshit. And he refused to stay away from it because, kind of not really an option when you live on the mouth of hell.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah. And in the course of the plot of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, he was hunted by a praying mantis who was disguising herself as a woman because he was a virgin. And that's apparently the criteria that praying mantis women look for in mates.
Wow.
Praying mantises, by the way, just in case anyone was not aware of the horrifying nature of mating with praying mantises, the female cuts off and or eats the head of the male afterwards.
Yep.
They don't always.
So, yeah, not always, but a distressing amount of the time.
If they need nutrition so they can, survive job or do whatever they need, hungry. So they're not hungry afterwards.
Yeah. Another time, he fell into a hole on a construction site where there were ancient Native Americans who wanted revenge, and he was the first to receive that revenge by way of contracting syphilis.
Awesome.
Wow. That's not
okay.
a very good,
Let's see, after that, the actual Dracula showed up and turned him into Renfield. Renfield, by the way, was Dracula's assistant that was hypnotized into eating insects. Yeah. And it was that particular episode in which he named this trope. He was sick of being the butt monkey. The one who gets the funny syphilis.
Yeah. It's pretty funny.
So, yeah, that kind of character that gets shit on throughout the entire length of the story and never gets a break. And it's usually played for laughs.
Yeah.
But it must suck to be that character.
Yeah. Examples of this, there's a lot of Dragon Ball characters I could mention. Krillin is one of them. But Yamcha even more so. Because he dies in the beginning of the first serious fight in Dragon Ball Z, and nobody ever lets him down. He ends up in a bad relationship. He ends up not going out with Bulma because they end up breaking up, and then he ends up being the first one to attack the river, which almost killed by the androids. He's Krillin dies twice, but even he's not stuck in as bad of a situation as Yamcha is. But
Yamcha wound up quitting because of all the bad shit that kept happening to him. He stopped.
Yeah, he quit
early too.
He very beginning of Dragon Ball Z. It's okay, they're coming. They're gonna send out the Cybermen. He goes and he fights the Cybermen. He's like, hey, it's not too hard, and then he gets exploded and dies.
Mm-hmm.
He
One of them
quit
grapples onto him and just explodes.
And then
quits
Krillin
and
just
Boo kills him anyway.
yeah. It's he keeps like honestly, at the very least, you know, Krillin got an android wife. It's pretty awesome. She's more of a cyborg though. Cyborg wife. Yeah.
Yamcha got it in Dragon Ball too, actually. If you think about it.
Yamcha
Sort of, but he was an actual threat at that point. So I mean, he was kind of respected as a villain, sort of.
Yeah. Another example of a really good butt monkey is the Persona series, Junpei and Yosuke.
Oh,
Persona 3 and Persona 4. Yosuke has it worse, though, because he gets numerous crotchal injuries.
I think the first time you see Yosuke, he's riding his bike, rides into a trash can, and then gets stuck in it head first.
And then you just leave. You don't even have the option to help him. You're just like, well, better go to school.
No, it's like he's saying help, and you say, the narration just goes, you decide to leave him alone. You just walk on. And then you go to school, and then you see him, and Chie's like, hey, you have my DVD. He gives Chie her DVD back, and it turns out, oh, it's broken. And then she kicks him in the balls.
Yeah.
In one day, he has gotten stuck in a trash can and gotten kicked in the balls.
Yeah.
That's a bad day.
I don't know if Junpei is actually a butt monkey, because a lot of the stuff he winds up in is just entirely his own fault. It's not like the universe crapping on him, it's just his own stupidity.
Yeah, but he's the closest to a butt monkey I can think of immediately in that series. For Persona 3,
fair enough.
But Yosuke is completely 100% butt monkey.
Oh, yeah.
Keigo and Bleach is kind of a butt monkey.
Keigo is a big one.
Yeah.
And it's, bad stuff happens to him, and that's something, if you're writing Bleach fanfiction like I am with Keigo, bad stuff happens to him a lot.
Remember, he has a sister and she's a bitch.
Yeah.
just to make sure that you incorporate that very important detail of his life.
I had completely forgotten about that.
She has a bald guy fetish.
When I was writing the first chapter, the whole reason why he goes out and basically ends up like dying in the very beginning of the story is because his sister forced him out to go get her juice because he like was annoying. So he died, and it was his sister's fault. So yeah, his life sucks.
At least partly her fault, anyway. I mean,
at least partly, but Soul Reaper powers.
There's I don't know if it's just the two that we've seen so far, but it seems like the Lancer class is cursed with like the worst luck possible. So their lives are absolute crap.
Yeah.
I think that's a hero-specific thing, and they specifically had very bad luck. It's just coincidence they're both Lancers, but yeah. I'm trying to think of one for Naruto, and I can't.
Naruto?
He's not really everything pretty much goes well for him.
Choji, no.
Kiba, I guess? I mean,
a little bit Kiba, I guess.
I think in some of the filler, he's kind of treated butt monkey-like. I don't know.
Yeah. He is deliberately made to be annoying in canon, so I imagine he is a little bit of a butt monkey, because it's satisfying to see him get shit on sometimes.
It's a staple that butt monkeys tend to be annoying.
Yeah. Also, he doesn't have the benefit of being the main character, but he's like Naruto light, so yeah.
Diet Naruto.
Yeah.
10-calorie Naruto. But, like...
Nico's cousin in Grand Theft Auto 4, Roman.
I didn't play that game enough to tell.
Everything horrible in that game happens to your protagonist. Everything bad happens to his cousin. Just by hanging around Nico, like Nico's the one getting in all the criminal stuff and everything. Just because of what Nico does, Roman ends up getting his business. He owns like a cab company. His company gets burned down. They get chased out of like their neighborhood and have to go to like their excuse for the Bronx to hide.
Yeah.
So
I don't think that's quite played for laughs, though. That's more.
It doesn't have to be played. I don't think it has to be played for laughs. I think it just has.
Butt Monkey kind of does.
Yeah, two notes about Butt Monkey, real quick. Is first of all, a butt monkey is always a source of comic relief. That's their main purpose, is that they have bad crap happen to them, so everybody can laugh and they can change the mood.
Yeah, GTA 4, I think that specific message was crime just causes bad things to happen to everyone around you, anyone connected to you.
Yeah, note number 2, the butt monkey is usually friends with the main character in some way, shape, or form, or is related to them, because they need to always be around as a constant source of comic relief. Not necessarily constant, but at least occasional. So, yeah.
Does Ron count?
No.
Ron?
I really wish they had made Ron count.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had potential. He could have been the butt.
I really would have liked to see him get his shit kicked in, and it would have been hilarious, but, you know.
Talk about Karma Houdini.
I don't know if you guys have heard, but, like, the writer herself was just like, you know, that Ron and Hermione pairing? I really regret doing that.
Yeah, we talked about this once, I think.
You should have seen the celebration on pretty much every one of the Yahoo groups I'm a part of. It was epic.
Yeah, so...
Anyway, butt monkeys.
Butt monkeys. They're fun, they're easy for comic relief, and to be honest, like, a lot of the time they don't seem to mind being the butt monkey. Like, they will complain and stuff about it, but they're not going to go all rage mode Super Saiyan kill somebody for it.
Generally, they've accepted that that's their thing, unless it's the Xander or Lancer type, where it's just really bad stuff happening to them. It's not funny to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's even the protagonist. I mean, you could argue that Issei from the XD is the butt monkey of the series.
He is a butt monkey, but he has so many good things happen to him that it balances it out.
Yeah.
That's usually the case with protagonists, It's sure, bad stuff can happen to them, and funny comic relief stuff, but they're the main characters, so good stuff happens to them. So it balances.
So yeah, don't be afraid to put a butt monkey in. You always need a butt monkey.
Oh, and it's good to have them have a redeeming moment as well. What was the name of the detective in Death Note? The shitty one?
What was his name? Matsuda?
Probably.
Yeah, that was him, yeah.
Yeah. He gets a moment at the end of that series that's like, okay, go Matsuda.
He does, doesn't he? Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I could not look at him without thinking Adachi.
Yeah.
That made watching that series really weird.
Oh, Adachi.
Yeah, like from Persona, yeah.
No, he's basically one as well. Oh, he's portrayed to be one as well.
His alternate friendly everyday Persona is, yeah.
Well, he does kind of get shit on either way because, you know, Dojima.
True.
And stuff.
Yeah.
That was good.
I don't think Dojima could
like
see him
twice.
as a legitimate threat.
He gets punched in the face twice. That's good.
Alright. I think that's it for butt monkeys.
Yeah.
They're fun, and don't be afraid to use them.
Yeah.
Just don't turn every character into a butt monkey.
Yeah, don't.
I don't even know how that would work, but if you're thinking of trying it, you know, just try it.
Let's try it.
Have a whole cast of characters.
That sounds interesting.
A whole cast of characters where everything always goes wrong for them.
Wait, that would be It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
True.
Okay,
or like,
someone write It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but a fanfiction version. Sure, why not? Go for it.
Have characters just be like, oh man, like the worst day for the entire cast of this thing. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Alright. Yeah. What's the next topic?
There is no next topic. We're on recommendations.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, we got no questions this week. Everyone was too busy talking about Baldur's Gate and or Soda and
that reminds me. I'm going to get Baldur's Gate.
God of War sex trade.
I am going to get Baldur's Gate enhanced.
And the God of War sex trade, yeah.
So I want to play it now.
Ethan,
We keep talking about it.
that was the best line. That was great. And the paying extras for the woman thing? Yeah, perfect. Loved it.
Okay. Alright, recommendations. Ken has one, and it's finally going to be a link for this one. Yay.
Yeah, I recommend the show called Review. It's a Comedy Central show, and it's all about this dude named Forrest, who basically reviews life itself. People will send things to his show and have him review those things like
Life experience.
yeah, life experience.
15
like,
pancakes.
like quitting a job, or what's it like to get addicted to something, or what's it like running from the law, or what's it like to eat 15 pancakes, or
30
single
pancakes.
sitting.
in a single sitting, or what's it like to eat 30 pancakes in a single sitting. And I made them all watch part of an episode of this show, and they loved it.
Basically the 15 pancakes thing.
Then
Yeah.
I watched the 30. Yeah.
So,
Great.
yeah, I'm recommending Review. It's a Comedy Central show. It has one season, and there's a second season apparently coming out, which I'm excited about. So
Yeah.
It's pretty
so
funny.
he's so upbeat about everything. And the thing about the show that's the best is in episodes, as the season drags on, stuff that he did in previous episodes fucking lingers. Like, he had to get addicted. He had to do one that was like, what's it like to get addicted to something? He gets addicted to cocaine. That shit lasts throughout the rest of the season.
Dude, that's kind of messed up.
A little bit.
And in that pancake episode, he gets divorced. That shit lasts throughout the rest of the season. There's brick jokes and there's continuity, and I like it.
Continuity is always a good thing to see in shows like that. I mean, you
Yeah.
wouldn't expect it, so when it happens, it's good usually.
And the
Yeah.
main character is just so likable. Like,
Just a nice guy. And he's a butt monkey, is what he is. That's
Pretty
the point.
much, yeah. Well, I mean, he looks like charmish British man number 3. So
Except he's American.
he is?
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I did not realize that.
Yeah, talking in an American accent the entire time. Who'd have thought he'd be an American?
I wasn't paying attention to that. I was more paying attention to the pancakes he had to shove down his throat.
Yeah. It was so good.
So that's,
Yeah, but he's basically the butt monkey of the audience, so that I might end up just binge watching the entire show at this point. I have nothing else to do while I'm waiting to decorate my place, so
you know you gotta finish these pancakes, right?
That's great.
yeah, okay. Anyone else got any recommendations?
Yeah, I got one.
I got one.
Okay, Zero.
Alright, so I'm going to recommend, it's called Route to Almightiness from 1 HP. It is a light novel, and I'll link it. The premise is that, okay, this 17-year-old, I've recommended a lot of reincarnation-type-esque stories before, and this is another one, but it's hilarious. It's very comedy-based. The main character dies while on his way from a porn video store. He gets hit by a truck, right?
All right.
And he sucks at everything else. He has no friends. And he and 2 others end up in the sort of this afterlife with this god. It's just like, okay, we need heroes or whatever for this world, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like your stats are based on your will from the moment you died. And this dude's basically got a sexual will that matches Issei. So his stats are so insanely broken that his HP is actually listed as 1 because it's over 100 million and the characters can't fit, so it's just 1.
That's pretty cool.
So he thinks that he will die in a single scratch. And his stats are all broken, so everything looks like 1, except his agility and defense are like 60-something thousand. And so it's like, oh no, I'll die from a single scratch. And so he's going around and everybody senses the super powerful entity and the castle's like, you got 1 HP, you can't be allowed to fight. Take everything from him and throw him out. So he ends up thrown out of the castle in his underwear with pretty much ridiculous infinite stats. And it's hilarious. He meets a slime, and he runs like 100 kilometers and destroys like the entire forest because he's scared he'll get hit.
Okay.
So it's a hilarious read. He punches the Demon Lord at terminal velocity at one point on accident, and this is totally fine. He's like, "Oh man, I'm so glad it was such a weak sorceress in his slime forest." So he's like, that's hilarious. It's a great read. I recommend it.
Okay. Are you gonna link it?
Yeah.
Alright. Slicey, you said you had one too.
Yeah. All right. Before I say the title of this, I'm going to say I expected nothing going into this. I expected a joke or a badly written piece of garbage, but it is called The Obligatory Piggyback Fic. And it is, the premise is Harry and the Dursleys are in New York, and The Last of Us happens. Like, so that's it. That's the premise of the entire thing, and things go from there. It's, Harry dies, like, first thing. That's in the first two chapters, or not chapters, paragraphs, I think. Some infected jumps out and just rips his throat out. He's dead. And then he explodes, and things are on fire. And then a baby is in the wreckage of the building he was in. And that just keeps happening because he keeps dying, because he's a baby and defenseless. And about 10
What?
years... Yeah, that's how he can't die, so he just keeps regenerating. Until Tess and the partner she has at the time, James, I think, finds him. And they raise him, and eventually the events of The Last of Us... Well, The Last of Us, I was going to say Last of Us 2 or 1, but it doesn't have a sequel, I don't know why. Anyway,
They're working on it.
So, it's just The Last of Us with Harry in it, and it's really good. I'm not selling it very well, but Harry is really fucked up. He doesn't...
Can't imagine why.
He doesn't remember anything from past lives, but Tess is a horrible parent, and bad things happen because it's the Last of Us universe. Or the setting, anyway. The magical world does exist, and magicals are immune to the virus. Sort of. It's not Ellie immune, where it's still inside of her body, but it doesn't turn her. It fights it off successfully, so they're not infected. So the magical world just shuts its borders completely, and nobody hears from them for like 20 years. And that's like chapter 7 of 8, so I won't tell anything extra about that. But I definitely recommend it. It's very good, and I'll link it in a second.
Cool. Okay, so I guess we're done then. And, Zero, thank you.
For
no Batman quotes.
Yeah,
it didn't happen.
For the last hour and a half, Zero was the hero you deserved.
Did you really have to do that?
Yes, I did.
Oh, he didn't.
Yes, I did.
He didn't.
You shouldn't have said anything.
I wanted to be appreciative, okay?
Well,
and then you had to shit all
still
over
appreciate him and get mad at me.
Positive reinforcement is a good thing to give, but you had to spoil it.
Hey, I didn't spoil anything. He's still super grateful to Zero, but now all that anger has been transferred to me, which I am okay with.
I would like to thank everybody for listening to the Fandom Flux Podcast, episode 71. If you'd like to get in contact with us and yell at Kenshi, you can do so through the Blogspot page at the comments, or our own personal profiles on fanfiction.net. Send it just to Kenshi. I'm not going to read ones that are just yelling at Kenshi. Or through the YouTube channel, through the comments. Please, everyone, yell at Kenshi.
Don't yell at Kenshi, because the hero Gotham deserves, but not the one it needs right now. So we'll hunt him because he can take it, because he's not a hero. He's a silent guardian, a watchful protector, a dark knight.
Damn straight.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Goodbye.